Whiskey fam, sit down, grab a dram, and listen to the soothing sounds of your boy Whiskey One talk some Milestone whiskey with you. All right, folks, so this is a special uncorking for me anyway. I haven't had a chance to try this. If you're wondering what it is, it's batch 2 of Milestone by Westward Whiskey. And those guys are based out of Portland, Oregon. They specialize in American single malt, by the way. So if you're a big fan of American single malt, you kind of like how it's going and how this, new category, legal category anyway, is starting to draw out and what it all has to offer. One of the things I'm gonna recommend is that you definitely check out some Westward stuff. Now, I signed up for Westward's, I guess, access to their library, and they have a lot of cool and interesting bottlings, a lot of different finishes, and I'm really becoming a fanboy of Westward Whiskey. Like I said, they are based out of Portland, not to be mistaken with Westland Whiskey, which is based out of Seattle. Now, this bottle was lent to me by my friend Julian Algarin, which I want to send a big thank you for letting me do so, because I haven't had a chance to try it and I've only heard other people talk good things about it. So now's my chance to share with you my thoughts and impressions on it and whether you should grab batch 3 that should be coming out this year. So yes, that is one of the reasons I wanted to try this and share it with all of you, is that this is a Solera style bottling. So this being batch 2 from last year, we should be seeing batch 3 coming soon. I don't know exactly when. If any of you guys have the deets on that, drop a comment, share that with me, because I'd love to hear it. Now this is bottled at 48.5% ABV. So it's 97 proof. It's not a proof bomb, but it's made with a lot of their old stocks. And essentially, like I said, being a Solera style bottling, it's got a lot of stuff from different years. And what they plan to do is, unleash some of that Solera style whiskey later this year. And it'll probably feature some really cool stuff. So let's get into this. I will say this is one hell of a quart. This thing could probably kill somebody. Nice and heavy. Oh man, so let me just share something with you. The first thing that happened when I popped this was a lot of cocoa and a lot of orchard fruits are just jumping right out of the bottle. So I'm excited to get into this. One thing I've come to expect and really find a lot, when I do get into a lot of the Westward Whiskey is, wow, that's loud, is a big heavy dose of cocoa. A lot of cocoa, a lot of vanilla, and a lot of nuttiness, specifically hazelnut. And right now I'm just telling you, the biggest thing jumping out is that cocoa, that nuttiness, and of course the orchard fruit. So let's get into this. Color-wise, it's a nice amber color. It's got a good, good level of darkness to it. This was proofed down. This is not a cast strength bottling. So, usually when they are cast strength, they tend to have a lot more richness and color to it. Also a lot more viscosity, but, I wouldn't say that's always true with everything, right? So let's check out the legs. Oh my, nice plump legs, fat legs. So it's got some heavy viscosity. On the nose, wow, like I said, this is like chocolate covered bananas, a lot of apricots, peach pie, toasted marshmallow. I definitely get a lot of the nuttiness, like I said, that initially kind of rushed out of the bottle when I popped this. So a lot of juicy nuttiness. It's creamy. This is, wow, this is really creamy, really robust in flavor, lots of aroma. I get a heavy dose now of graham cracker. But the thing that really jumps out is how much orchard fruits there really are in this. Man, thank you for letting me borrow this again, Julian. This is a nice little gem. I appreciate that. Let's get into the taste, shall we? Cheers, all you guys watching. Mm-mm-mm. Mm-mm-mm. Wow, that's tasty. Effervescent. There's a cola note that kind of jumped out, interestingly. Salted toffee. A lot of fruit. A lot more fruit than I typically get with their base American single malt. That one tends to be nutty, like a dry type of a nut, you know, like more on the almond side, walnut. But this is definitely hazelnut forward, really juicy, a lot of orchard fruits, apricots, again, peaches, some nectarines are now starting to jump out. So it's really like herbaceous as well. There's a little bit of white pepper happening there, but yeah, it kind of surprised me that there is some herbaceousness to it. There's some mint leaves happening there, a little bit of clove, but it's real light. So it's not aggressively spicy in any way. Speaking of which, bottled at 97 proof, wow. It doesn't feel light, it feels full-bodied. So, you know, even though they did proof it down, it doesn't feel watered down. So, cheers again. Mm-mm. I'm enjoying this. You know, this is a whiskey you take your time with. If you're a whiskey nerd like me, you know, you like to dissect it a little bit, spend your time with it, enjoy it, right? Sit down, relax, enjoy yourself. And this is one of those that you probably get for special occasions, and that's really when you're sharing with friends. I am really looking forward to this year's release, because if it's anything at all like this one, I won't feel bad getting at least a backup bottle as well. Now, I do remember that this being a premium bottle, an exclusive and limited release, the price was up there. I think I found at the lower end about like 150, but I saw it also on the higher end at about 300. You know, this is, this is gonna be not for the whiskey novice. I honestly think that, you know, once you get into American single malt and then you start to figure out like what distillery speaks to you, what are the brands that really do it for you for the American single malt stuff, you're gonna just go all in, right? Whenever they have an exclusive release. And so that's kind of where I'm at with it. I wouldn't say that this is for the whiskey connoisseur. I think this is more for the whiskey curious, in my opinion.
100%.
And a lot of that just has to do with, you know, anytime you're tasting a Solera style whiskey, there's always a level of curiosity for how does this batch taste different from the previous batch? What is the next batch going to be like? And, you know, that's where I get the gears going on in my head and always wanting to learn and explore and be adventurous. And I feel like me being whiskey curious, I always appreciate something like this. And I think that's who this is going to speak to the most. For the connoisseur, you're going to have it on your shelf. I think you're probably going to get something like this anyway, regardless of who you are on that whiskey spectrum. But I think that this being what it is, being as much of a flavor bomb as it is, anybody who gets it is going to appreciate it. And that's my overall thoughts and opinions on it. So now, if you guys are watching, thank you for supporting us and checking out the channel. I really sincerely appreciate it. Follow us if you're on Facebook or Instagram. You know, give us a sub if you're on YouTube. I really appreciate that. Matter of fact, we're trying to get to 1,000 subs this year, so I hope you guys can help me out. If you're new to the channel, which, you know, if you look at the stats, a lot of the people that tend to watch my videos are new to the channel, and I'm not the only one. It's kind of a weird thing. People just don't subscribe. Maybe they don't think about it. But definitely consider that. Now, before I end this, I want to point something out. This was the box that this came with. Really hefty box. There's really not a lot going on other than having a nice presentation case behind it. Now there is a pamphlet inside that, you know, it entices you to sign up for the Westward Whiskey Club, and that's where you can join by scanning that little QR code. It does reveal their tasting notes on here. And again, all the information that I already shared with you is in the pamphlet. So kind of cool. You know, I personally don't keep boxes. They just take up way too much space, honestly. But as far as the juice in the bottle, fantastic. I mean, this is a great presentation. It falls in line with a lot of their new style bottles, which, you know, it's kind of has this shape of the Cascade Mountains. Pretty cool. But honestly, this is a fantastic dram. So Julian, thank you again for sharing this with me. I sincerely appreciate it, man. So here at Whiskey One, it's about the one you enjoy. Cheers.